Everybody's asleep. There is actually maybe people sleeping in this house. But I know the editors that are waiting for this video, the other side of the world, are asleep because it is, what time is it over there? 4:35 in the morning. And it's 10:35 p.m. here in the UK, which is why I'm wrapped up. It's bloody freezing. But I'm just about to do a final. It's not going to be a final, but it's one of the last pieces in the puzzle for the tech tutorials that I've been working on with the guys over our Easy course. And we've really wanted to take our time with these tutorials and make sure they're banging and they're perfect, because the guys have put a lot into the platform. It's such a powerful web development platform. We wanted to make sure that no stone was left unturned, and we wanted to give you all of the detail, all of the keyboard shortcuts, all the tips, all the tricks, all the techniques. And honestly, if you want to build some stunning web pages using the web builder, you want to learn this stuff, right? It doesn't matter what your level of technical knowledge is, you can absolutely use this web builder. I've tried it, tested it with lots of people, and it's incredible, right? So the last bit of the tutorial I'm going to do for the guys, and this is dead good because what is it, 20 to 11 in the UK, 4:30 over in the team with Easy course. So when they wake up this morning, this is the last video that they're waiting for, and I think I might even have a celebratory drink when I've done it. So what I'm going to show in this tutorial, and if you are joining me from the Easy course group, hello to you. You've got some amazing tutorials coming your way. But in this one, I'm just going to show how to make one of these sliders. Right, so this slider is pretty impressive. Looks great on a web page. It looks very good on a mobile. So this slider is something that has its own tutorial. Chapter 27, maybe. I think it's about a 30 module course, this one is, right? So the last piece that I need to do is teaching people how to make one of these so-called sliders. And if you're interested in developing your own web pages, or if you can't be asked and you want me to do it, then just get in touch. But if you are interested in developing your own web pages, have a watch of this. Just join me for a few minutes as I show you how quickly you can build something like that, irrespective of your technical skills. So how this works is I'm recording double screen at the minute. I'm on a green screen. Spoiler alert, it is literally a green bit of cloth. And what the editors will do is they'll replace this green background and they'll put me somewhere nice. I don't know, it's their choice. And then on this screen next to me, you can actually see my computer. So as I'm using my computer here, you can see what's on the screen. And these are the tutorials. And what the editors will do is they will take this, they will split it down the middle. They will superimpose me on that screen. They might even have me on a background so that they've got me full screen as a presenter, and then they can switch between the screens and that sort of stuff. And I'm actually going to give you a sneak peek. A sneak peek. I don't know whether I'm allowed to do this, but go on, let's do it. Let's do it. So if you go onto YouTube, right, search for Easy Course, boom. Right, these tutorials here are the new ones, right? So I'm just going to go into the Easy Course channel, boom, playlists. This Easy Course Builder 2.0 is what is coming your way soon, people. I'm just going to mute that. So as you can see, that's what it's going to look like. Oh, I quite like that environment. It's a very swanky office. And you can see how the guys have superimposed me in the bottom corner of the screen, just there. And they put some fancy graphics on. They've called out some things and things like that. It's a 30 module course. 30 module course. So if you are an Easy Course customer, or using the new Easy Studio, or you're working with me and I'm building your web pages for you and you're learning from me, you got some good shit coming your way. Sorry for swearing. I'll make sure I don't swear when I record, right? So in a short while, I'm going to just take my headphones off. I'm going to like tidy myself up a bit, and I'm going to deliver this training to that camera that you're watching me on. And I'm also going to be sharing my screen as well, and then that is this last tutorial complete. Now, spoiler alert, I've usually got a teleprompter running on this screen here, at least to give me some guidance. I've got nothing for this one, so Christ knows how many takes this is going to take me. Have a little drink, but let's see how we go. See how many ums and ers come out. I need to take my headphones off. I've got music playing in my ears. You can't hear it at the minute. I'm just going to turn that off. Alrighty. For continuity, because all of the other videos I didn't have my headphones on. So there we go. We're going to create this screen here. So first of all, I need to introduce what a slider is. And I also need to show this example that you can see on the screen of what a slider looks like. And then I need to go through a tutorial showing guys how it works. So that's what we're going to do. That's the order of play. And I'm just getting up my list here so I know what session number. So every time I do a recording, it has a session number. This is session number 38. And in this session, I could record as many videos as I want to, but I'm only going to do one. And the video number is video number 25. So I'm recording session number 38. That's the whole video file. And this particular video I'm doing now is number 25. It's called Using Sliders. And this first attempt is take one. With no scripts, no guidance. And I've literally only just planned this a few minutes ago. So here we go. On your Easy Course web pages, oh, shit. It would help if I hit the record button, wouldn't it? There we go. Okay. This is session number 38, video 25, take number 1. We are using sliders. On your Easy Course web pages, you can present information in something called sliders. There's an example on the screen just here. Great for introducing teams or maybe showcasing clients or that type of thing. And you can see how stunning these look. So in this tutorial, I'm going to recreate this section for you so you can see how straightforward that is. So let's first of all go ahead and add a new section into this page. We're going to add a blank section. And then next we need to head into the sliders section here. And when I click on sliders, you can see there's a range of different sliders that you can choose from straight away. And I'm just going to use this same one for the example so that we can recreate this section at the top. Now, first thing to say, I feel like it needs a bit of spacing around it. So let's deal with that first of all. Right click takes you into the settings. I'm going to go in styles and I'm just going to increase the top and the bottom padding just there to give this a little bit of breathing space, and that's just set up over here. Next thing, on the original here, the background color is blue, so let's change that here. We'll go into the background settings and we'll change that to our variable blue color. Oh, it's not that one, it's the one above it. There we go. And we can see as well there's some different things that are happening here. So of course we need to change the images, we need to change the titles and things like that. But from this point forward, we're going to go into the settings panel and work through things one by one and just have a look. There's loads of settings to choose from. So first of all, right at the top, you've got slider content. And this relates to this title and this bit of subtext here, and as you can see you can change those just here. So I'm going to put meet the team, and I'm going to put say hello to the friendly faces from the Help with Digital team. There we go. And that's essentially it. And I can format that text if I want to. I've got some settings just here, but I'll show you a better way actually of formatting those things. Now, if you wanted to, you can turn that text off altogether with this toggle icon, and that's just up here, look, and you can turn that off and you can see the text here has now disappeared, or turn it back on just there. So that is the slider content. Next up, the individual slide items. So this is where I'd make changes to this content here. So firstly, you can delete slides if you don't want as many, and you can use the duplicate icon just here to copy and duplicate them. So you can see that you can delete and add them just like that. So let's go about customizing these people here. So you see you can expand the section, and the title bit is this larger white text here. So I'm going to put founder, and I'm change the name just here to AD House, just there, look. Okay, next up, I can delete the image that's already there, and I can add in a different image. So I've got this one here, for example, and you can see now I've got my image in there. Now, the rating scale here can actually be changed by individual user. So if I wanted to put less stars for myself, if that was a review, or I could increase them with that. Okay, so that's how that looks. And that's the content, if you like, for that slide item. And I can make changes to the rest of them as well. I'm just going to change a few pictures here so that we can see how this might look. Oops. So choose any of these pictures. I'm just going to work through. I'm not going to bother changing all of the titles as such. I think you get the idea with that. Okay, so there we go. And we'll just make change maybe to this one here as well. There we go. So we've got our team photos in there. Now, next up, slides per view. So how many slides can you see at any one time? And that's controlled just in here. So if you only want 3 slides on, you can change that number there, and you can see I've got 3. Or alternatively, I can have more if I want. And there's what it looks like with 5. So yeah, change that to however you want it to be. And next up is the scroll. So this is how much scroll when you move using the navigation arrows. You've got things like autoplay, loop. The title styles is just here. So if I make a change to the color of the title styles, which is just down here, you can see there that meet the team. The style of it is changed. I think on the original it was blue. Next up, we've got things like the rating settings and style. So this rating here, meet the team, you probably wouldn't have a rating on it, would you? So if you want to just knock that off, you can do. And that turns that on and off just there. Now, next up is descriptive styles. And this is where you can change the description just underneath there. So if I change the text just here. There we go. I'm laughing now. I'm laughing because this is going to be a second take. I was making changes on the bottom one, showing on the screen the top one, so I do need to do that again. People, but this is the perils of doing a recording live. But can you see how this is coming together and how quickly this is building up? Really straightforward to put together. So I'm going to go back to the beginning. I'm still recording, and this is where I'm going to go for the next take. So session 38 file is still recording. We're still on video 25 using sliders. This is now take 2. And I keep a record of how many takes I'm taking. Simply, when it comes to the edit, I can skip through the file and then find exactly the take that I'm looking for. So let's try this one again. In your easy course pages, you can use something called sliders, and it's a very effective way of presenting information. There's one on the screen just here. You can use it for maybe customer testimonies or showcasing your customers, your clients, meeting members of the team, maybe meeting volunteers within a community, that type of thing. And you can see how stunning these look. So in this tutorial, I'm going to go about recreating a section just like this on the same page so that you can see the before and after comparison, and you can see how easily you can do things like this for yourself. So let's go into this page here. I'm going to add a blank section underneath it. I'm going to change the background color. I'm gonna make it slightly different to the one above, just so that you can see the difference between the two. But I'm going to use exactly the same slider. Now you come across to left-hand side here onto the menu. You go into sliders, and then this is the slider that I'm going to choose just there, and you can see that's already dropped in nicely. Now straight away you can probably tell that it feels like it needs a bit of breathing space around it, some space at the top and bottom. So let's deal with that now. So a right click takes you into the settings just here. Under styles you can go into padding, and I'm just going to turn up the top bit of padding just there, and also the bottom bit of padding there. And now you can see that's got a nice little bit of breathing space around it, just to make sure it doesn't feel crammed up. So that is just that there. And I'm just going to go back into the general tab now and click on this here, so that we can start to see some of the settings that we can change. You can see there's quite a few down the side, and we're not going to get through them all, but let's have a look at the main ones on here. So the slider content relates to the information at the top here. So the title and a little bit of text underneath, that's where you can change what that says and what the description says underneath. And if you want to, using this toggle icon just here, you can actually toggle off that text. So see, now it's disappeared. So if you didn't want that on at all, you can turn it on and off as you want to. So that's the slider content section. Next up is the individual slide items, and this is where you can start changing the individual text and titles and images and that sort of stuff. So let's change this here. I'm going to put founder. I'm going to change the name to AD. I'm going to change the image to AD. There we go, there's me. And if I wanted to as well, I could change the rating. So each one of these individual people here can have a different rating. So that's something you might use if you're doing customer reviews and that sort of stuff. Maybe not something you would necessarily use on a Meet the Team page. You could do if you wanted to. You rate each other. So that's that first card customized. Let me just work through some of these others as well. I'm not going to change all the names, because I think you get the idea of that. But if we just change some of these images here, you can see how quickly it is to customize that. You know, photos of your team all ready to go, and then it's just a case of popping those in there. So that's looking pretty good, isn't it? Okay, so there we go. We've made some changes to that. Let's see what's next. You can change the number of slides per view. So at the minute, I've got 4 slides on display. I could change that to 3 if I wanted to. And that would look just like that. Or I could actually have more if I wanted to. I think you can go up to 8. So you choose whatever looks nice for you. I think on the original, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. So you can see we're starting to get close. Some different images, admittedly, but you can see how quickly you can update things and change these things. Slide scroll, that's how much things scroll. Autoplay, whether the slides are looping round on autoplay, you can change those sorts of things. Let's have a look at title style. So this is the title here. I'm just going to change the colour of that. I'm going to change that to the blue. There we go. Of course, I can change the font type and the weight and the shape and all that sort of stuff, just using the normal settings. Rating settings. These ratings here, I can turn them off completely. So you can see they've now gone. You might not want them on there. You can center them. You can have them on the right or the left as well. Descriptive styles. So if I make a change to the descriptive style, change it to orange, you can see that text has now changed to orange, a bit like we had on the original just up here. So yes, lots of customizations. Let's carry on. Card title style. So the card title is where it says founder here. Let's say, I don't know, we want that in blue. You see how that's changed across there? The name is just here, the card name style. So again, change colors if we want to, change font sizes, styles, all of that sort of stuff. See how nice this is starting to look. Card body. So the card body is this bit here. If I want my brand background, I'd change it just like that. So look at that. That's really kind of on brand. On the original, though, we had some clouds. Let's look at how to do that. So instead of color as a background, let's have an image as a background. Open the gallery. You can either choose one of your own images, or if you want to, choose one that's here. We've got some nice trees in the background now. So can you see how this is starting to kind of look really bespoke to whatever brand that you're working within? So just go down a little bit more. We've got the card footer, which is this bit at the bottom. So on the bottom of the cards, I can turn that off completely. So it's just photos. Or I can have that footer on. And also change the colours and things of the footer. The navigation styles just up here. So if I want to start playing with the colours, maybe I want the right hand navigation to be green. And I want the left-hand navigation to be blue, just like that. So you can see the detail that you can get into with all of this. So card styling within your sliders, look at that. I know it's not exactly like the original, but you've seen how you can very quickly make that your own. So sliders, very effective. Lots of ways you can use them, like I say, to introduce your clients, to introduce your team. Maybe even to you know, kind of show off different departments and things like that, or if you've got different coaches that are involved in your business, meet the coaches. So lots and lots of creative ways you can use this. That is sliders inside the Easy Builder. I'll see you on the next one. There we go. I think I got a little bit lost towards the end of that. Which is, you know, it's something that can happen when you haven't got a script. And scripts are okay. They do keep you on track. They do keep you guided. And I do a lot of script work on the teleprompter at the front there. But sometimes you find they can be a little bit restrictive as well. And it can just kind of, yeah, it can kind of take away the personality of what you're trying to do, I think. So I am just going to remove, not that screen, that's the wrong button, AD. I'm going to just remove that screen a second because I have done with that tutorial. And what I'm going to do while I've got you is I'm going to edit it while I'm still live as well. And that will help you to see, if you are interested in tech tutorials and the process involved in doing them, there's a little bit of a lesson for you just here. So the video I've just done is number 25. I use Adobe Premiere for my editing, and I do a reasonable amount of training on Adobe Premiere, and I do some coaching for editors that use Adobe Premiere, and a couple of the guys that I work with as well. Also use Premiere. It's all right. I'm trying to navigate on one screen. I've got messages popping up, and I just want to show you how I go through this edit bit. Someone's actually just popped up on my screen. Can you tell me how I go about learning Easy course? It's like, mate, I'm live right now. Come and tune in, Mark. There we go. So I am. Let me find the video I've just recorded. Is the first thing. So basically, what I've got is on OBS Studio, which is what I use to record everything. Everything that gets recorded in this studio goes into a particular folder, and from that folder, it's like literally loads in there. I've then got the raw video file that I've just recorded. Now what I have to do is move it out that studio folder that's got all the rest of the stuff in, and then I'm just putting it into a project folder so it's safe, and then I'll be able to show you how to get this edited up. So I need to put that in my studio records, and then I'll be able to come back on the screen on the other side. So that was session 38. So yeah, I've copied the file across from the studio dump into the project folder. I've labeled it session 38. I gave you that information at the start, didn't I? And that then allows me to kind of track everything up. So I'm just going to go into Premiere now. Bring it on the screen for you. And I'm just going to bring in session number 38. So what I've got down here in my project folder essentially is I've got all my session records all together. And then I've got the, that should actually say final sequence. That's the final sequence that's just in there. So I told you it was a 30 module course. These are all the different sequences for those individual videos. I've even got 3 lots of outtakes there as well. I'm sure there's more outtakes than that. So what I need to do now is just find the clip within session 38. So we bring in... Have I brought that in yet? No. Right, so what I need to do is just get my session recording. Drop it into that session records folder. Boom. And here is the full clip. Now remember, and I've got it written down on my pad, we're looking for take 2. So take 1 wasn't very successful. So I'm going to skip through that at high speed, and then we'll just have a check through that second proper take. So just skipping through this now. Sometimes I do note the times down next to the takes. That just saves a bit of time here, but just skipping through it. I don't need to watch it. I'm just looking for the fuck up basically, and then we'll... So all this is going to end up on the cutting room floor. This is where I get my outtakes from, by the way. It'd be nice to be able to record videos this fast, wouldn't it? Yeah, this one worked. This one's worked anyway. I've noticed I've left the screen zoomed in as well. And if you're kind of making tech tutorials, you need to factor in this type of stuff. Mistakes are going to be made, right? But it's not actually a mistake. It's part and parcel to learning. There we are. So I think, have you noticed that how I kind of sit up straight there and look at the camera? And when I coach people to make video courses or video social or anything, always have that kind of couple of seconds look to camera at the beginning and also at the end as well. It makes a nice clean edit point, but also you've probably just seen I was able to recognize that as an editor straight away and go, right, this is the start of take 2. So I next press the I key on the keyboard. That's just marked an in point down here for me. So that's me marking the start of this good take. And then I'm just going to press spacebar, play it through. I'm just going to actually cut a bit more of that off. All right. So because I've recorded this myself, because I know the setup, I know the sound quality and stuff like that, I'm not worried about kind of quality checking this too much at this stage, because I know it inside out. And I can therefore afford to speed up. So I don't know how long this video lasts for, but if I sit and watch it all, say it is 8 minutes long, it's going to take me 8 minutes to watch it. If I watch it back on double speed, I can still hear what's going on. I can still listen for the balls ups, but it's going to take me 4 minutes instead of 8. Sounds daft, really, but when you're doing volume, every second counts, especially when you work into a deadline like I'm at the minute. What are we? 10 past 11. This is needed across at the editors the other side of the world in 50 minutes time. So every second does count, and that's why people work with me, because I've done this type of production over and over again. I know it like the back of my hand, and why should something take 2 weeks that only needs 2 days? You know, time is money. Time is money. You want things done quickly, yeah? So let's speed this up. Welcome to my world. There we are. So that's the end of that. And I have just marked the out point using the O on the keyboard. So you can see this lighter line here is the segment that we're going to use. So back on my timeline just here, it's just a case of dragging that in here. And you can see actually, if I just zoom into the timeline here, you can see that little gap at the beginning where there's no sound. That's my little 1 or 2 seconds looking at the camera. And then you probably got the same at the end as well. Oh gosh, where is the end? Yeah, a little 2-second gap there. So that's my clip there. Here endeth my job, right? I don't need to do anything else on this particular job. Like I say, I'm going to get this over to the guys the other side of the world, ready for the start of their day. So, my gosh, 11:15 now. I'll be going to bed soon. I might even be still awake at the point they're getting into the office. So literally, I'm handing this raw video footage over to them, and they're going to now work their magic with it. So I don't need to do anything else. They will now work with this. They will split this up in whatever way it needs to be. Let me just show you what the finished article looks like, just in case you weren't with me right at the beginning. Where is it? Search for them. They're all coming back beautifully animated. You guys have done a cracking job. Here they are on playlists. Easy Course Builder 2.0, and this is what we've been working on. And the guys have been already busy uploading all of these here. Yeah, there's quite a few more to go on it. This is a really good course, and it is coming your way very, very soon, courtesy of me and the guys at Easy Course. So if you've got any questions, please leave your comments, and I'll see you on the next one.